This is Miss Thao. She was diagnosed with SPINOCEREBELLA ataxia 12 years ago. This was a genetically inherited disease from her father. Both her father and brother passed away 7 years after initial diagnosis of the disease. The following is a photo of Miss Thao when she was 21 years old, a very beautiful young lady before diagnosis. This is her now, 12 years later, post-diagnosis. She is now confined to a wheelchair, unable to walk, with most of her nerves failing to respond. She relies on others, especially her mother, for her daily essential needs, such as transport, clothing, and grooming. Her nerve damage is serious to the point where she could not spit out toothpaste after her teeth have been cleaned. She is unable to eat, swallow, and can barely talk. She struggles to keep her eyes open. Miss Thao's head sits on the left of her shoulder because she is unable to hold her head upright. Both her arms and hands are stiff and curls up towards her body. After hearing that Miss Thao has SPINOCEREBELLA ataxia, a brain disease, Miss Lindy instantly shaved her head for treatment. She discovered an uneven surface on the back of her head. Miss Lindy treated around the affected area and found that the surface has evened out after only 1 hour of continuous treatment with Miracle Wands. Miss Thao and her mother arrived to the Miracle Wands office early the next morning, very happy. Her mother explains that Miss Thao reduced the amount of painkillers that she usually intakes. After the first day of treatment, a great amount of pain was reduced. You can see here that Miss Thao can hold her head upright. Her head is no longer tilted to the left and her arms are no longer curled towards her body. Miss Thao now has control over her arms after only the first day of Miracle Wands treatment. Miss Thao's mother could not believe such significant results from Miracle Wands so quickly. On the second day of treatment, Balsa TV raced to the Miracle Wands office after hearing news about Miss Thao. Balsa TV interviewed Miss Lindy and Miss Thao's mother. They have heard about this serious condition and would love the honor of sharing Miss Thao's journey to improvement with Miracle Wands. Miss Lindy shares with the interviewer that this is her first time dealing with a patient with SPINOCEREBELLA ataxia. Miss Lindy shares sympathy with Miss Thao in regards to the loss of her father and brother because of this condition. Miss Lindy says to the best of her ability, she will try and help Miss Thao. Miss Thao's doctor, Dr. Nguyen Tran, President and CEO of VietMD, helping Vietnamese doctors and patients, came to visit Miss Lindy during the interview and shook Miss Lindy's hand. He says, "As a doctor, I do lots of charity work. I have never seen someone take care and put so much effort into a patient before." These words were very meaningful to Miss Lindy and touched her heart. On the third day, Miss Lindy went to Miss Thao's house to provide a treatment. Miss Lindy is determined to make Miss Thao's wishes of standing up again come true. To do so, Miss Lindy must work on her back and spinal cord and was unable to do so with Miss Thao sitting in a wheelchair. Miss Thao's back was very swollen. After 1.5 hours of treatment on the back, the swelling reduced dramatically and the spinal shape was able to be seen. Miss Thao was able to sit up straight and not slouch. Miss Thao's mother shares that there is no more cure at this point on for Miss Thao because she is in her last stages of SPINOCEREBELLA ataxia. Doctors no longer can do anything in their power to improve her condition. Upon arrival to Miss Thao's home, Miss Lindy notices that Miss Thao looks very refreshed. She is more active and responsive with her movements and responses. Miss Thao's mother shares that the 2 nights after the first 2 days of treatment, Miss Thao has not been bothering her during her sleep. She has slept through 2 full nights for the first time in years. Miss Thao is excited for Miss Lindy to visit her home for a treatment. She loves the Miracle Wands treatment and asks her mother to continue treatments at home. She looks forward to using Miracle Wands every morning and every night. Miss Thao is in the last stages of SPINOCEREBELLA ataxia. There is no cure at this point forward, and Miss Thao and her mother has lost faith. Miracle Wands has brought back life into Miss Thao's life and brings great joy to her and her family. Days later, Miss Thao and her mother sent Lindy a video message to update Miss Lindy with her results. Miss Thao and her mother thanks Miss Lindy for giving them hope and life.
Lindy.
Dạ.
Con ấy giờ đang đi rồi nâng nực. Muốn gây buộc giữa mấy con. Kéo gần như kéo chị lên cũng được.
Kéo cái gì cũng được hết. Đánh răng được không?
Dạ được.
Dạ được. Wow, vậy là con khỏe quá rồi.
Con bị hóc rất giờ nữa.
Không hóc, không có bị hóc, không bị sặc đó.
Không bị ói nữa.
Không bị ói
Wow, sướng quá nha.
Con hay ói đó.
Hay ói hay sặc.
Uống nước cái ói hoài
nói gì mới nhớ nha, đừng ai biết cái đó quên đó nha. Nó nhớ đó. Bên đêm con ngủ sao?
Vài bữa là mang cạo lưỡi một lần.
Cạo lưỡi rồi.
Nếu như không ói hoài
rồi có bên đêm con ngủ như thế nào đó cho cô nghe.
Bên đêm
con ngủ tối mới sáng con nằm sao?
Con nằm yên.
Con nằm yên.
Cho má ngủ.
Cho má ngủ nữa.
Con là không phá.
Không phá. Bị khai tuổi đấy nha. Rồi sao nữa? Cảm ơn cô làm sao?
Cảm ơn cô đã đứa thần kỳ.
Thần kỳ đúng rồi, nó đã.
Đứa thần kỳ.
Cảm ơn cô sao cô lại tìm ra
đứa thần kỳ, nếu không có đứa thần kỳ của cô thì con không khỏe được.
Không có đũa thần kỳ của cô là con không có khỏe được. Wow, con giỏi quá. Vậy là
cảm ơn cô.
Cái này mà chú gửi cái này qua cho cô là cô mừng lắm.
Nói cô đi.
Dạ, con gì sức khỏe để cà đá nữa.
Thần kỳ cái đá hoài.
Ok rồi. Rồi bye bye cô đi con. Bye bye. Giỏi quá. Rồi.
Miss Thao sent a video message to thank Miss Lindy for the gift of the delicious Tim Tam biscuits from Australia. She shows Miss Lindy that she can now pick up the biscuit and hold it in her own hands, and she also shows that she can feed herself all on her own now. Here's what she had to say.
Cô Lindy, cảm ơn cô.
Sao nữa?
Bánh này ngon. Cảm ơn cô. Con được bánh rồi.
Con cầm được bánh rồi.
Con đút vào miệng, con đút vào miệng ra, hai miệng ra, ăn hết luôn miếng luôn, hai miệng ra mới được, hai miệng ra nhét vào luôn. Đó, có chưa, đó, vậy đó, đó hết chưa, đó, đúng rồi, trời ơi, úi trời ơi, ngon nha, đút vào miệng ngon lần để lại lau tay cho.
Miss Thao and her mother were invited to do a special interview with Saigon TV. to share their wonderful experience with using miracle wands. Miss Thao suffers a tragic disease called SPINOCEREBELLA ATAXIA and was diagnosed 12 years ago. The reporter asked Miss Thao's mother what has changed between the first time she was introduced to miracle wands and now. Miss Thao's mother explains that the day before visiting Miss Lindy, Miss Thao was very weak. She struggled to breathe because her throat and airways were swelling and blocking up. Miss Thao could not eat or even swallow her own saliva. Her body was weak. She could not lift or hold anything in her arms or hand. She would feel pains all over her body and cannot distinguish where her pains were coming from. Miss Thao suffered from nystagmus, which is involuntary eye movements, bulging eyes and double vision. Miss Thao's mother shares that they used to wake up 20 times a night due to pains and aches. She used to take 11 different medications and has now cut down to only 4 a day. The day Miss Thao and her mother met Miss Lindy was like destiny. The love and effort Miss Lindy puts into helping her patients is undescribable. After the first day, her mother explains, "I saw life in Thao's eyes. They were brighter and more alive. She was able to control where she was looking." Everyone was amazed by Miss Thao's results in just one day. Miss Thao's mother now gives Miss Thao miracle wands treatments every day. Her mother says, "We can never miss a day. If I said we would skip today, Thao would be very upset and say, 'Without miracle wands, I would not be this healthy and strong.'" Miss Thao loves miracle wands so much she even dreams about having a treatment. The results are unbelievable. Miss Thao's mother shares, Miss Thao is now able to eat on her own, lift and hold things with her own hands, and brush her own teeth. She has been sleeping uninterrupted full nights since the day we started using miracle wands. Miss Thao can now pinpoint where her pains are coming from because her whole body no longer aches. Her mother is so grateful for Miss Lindy and miracle wands and did not expect such improvements. The reporter speaks to Miss Thao. "You have been smiling the whole interview. Is there something you would like to say?" Miss Thao replies,
Cảm ơn cô.
Con cảm ơn cô.
Rất
Sao?
là cảm động.
Đó, con cảm ơn cô. Con cảm ơn cô đó.
The reporter turns to Miss Lindy and asks, "How does it feel to help someone who was near their end and bring life to them?" Miss Lindy replied, "I could not be any happier. This is the reason why I do what I do, and it really gives people hope. It gives me hope. I am always here to help Miss Thao. Whenever I have free time, I would go to Miss Thao's house and give her a treatment, and I would grocery shop for them because I know how difficult it is for them to get out of the house." The reporter then asks, "What do you plan for the future of miracle wands?" Miss Lindy replies, "I want everyone to know and see the significance of miracle wands. In the near future, I hope to get approval from the health department. As of now, I am not able to reach everyone in need on my own. I need all the support I can get to be able to help people similar to Miss Thao." Watching Miss Thao's recovery gives us all hope in life. Nobody is as happy as Miss Thao, and we are all grateful to live such a happy and healthy life. Miss Lindy travels the world to help hopeless patients who themselves and others have given up on. Please support Miss Lindy with her great doings to continue changing the lives of others. You can contact Miss Lindy at lindy.ngu@miracleones.com. Please share this touching video of Miss Thao.